All right, here we are without Travesty Ya Majesty. And we have a very special guest host with us. We have Dana Carter, straight out of Texas.
Yay!
Yay.
Along with Krystal Dee.
Yes.
And Cheetah-Re on location, as always. She'll be popping in and out at some point. So really quickly, I wanted to start off the show. I don't know if either one of you have, or if any of us have seen, but I got a couple of interesting things that were sent to me. Number one, has everybody heard about what's going on with Subway, the sandwich chain?
The tuna?
Yeah, the tuna fish.
The tuna is not tuna. I'm devastated.
Yes, well, we don't know yet. Allegedly, there's a lawsuit out of California, and the people are basically stating that it's not really tuna fish. It's a concoction of a whole bunch of stuff that has nothing to do with fish that tastes like tuna fish.
See, that's why I don't eat tuna fish from nowhere. I don't. It's only from my home. I always had a thing about that. Oh,
well, look, I'm not gonna lie. I love that. I love the Subway tuna fish sandwich, but I'm never gonna now. I'm never. No. I was blown away at that. I mean, seriously. I mean, what do you do in this situation? Especially if it comes out now that it's not tuna fish.
You can't eat it. No,
Subway
that's gross.
You know what? Subway should be shut down anyway, though. I'm getting sick of them between the whole situation.
Yes, I agree.
The whole situation.
If there is a lawsuit, I'm going to join it because I thought it was tuna.
Yeah.
You know, then what else could it have been? Like, because it tastes like tuna.
They put flavoring,
tuna.
probably with different fishes, maybe.
Like, if it was cat balls, I'm going to be mad. Like, I'm going to be so mad.
Listen, you never know, though.
Like shredded cat balls, I'm going to be so ticked off.
Well,
talking about a lawsuit.
Here's the thing that's scary, though. What's scary is that they claim that it's not even any fish at all.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's what's really. We don't know.
What else can make a tuna taste if you grind it?
Yeah, and the texture, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
the taste
that's
and the
what
texture.
I'm saying.
I don't even want to get into that. I don't even know, because there were a couple of companies way back in the day. Yeah. Well, there were a couple of things back in the day where rice wasn't even rice. It was little bits of plastic. Some Chinese food restaurants were serving plastic as rice.
No, but that's true. Actually, they did test.
But that's
on
what
that.
I'm saying. Like, oh my God.
No, I stopped eating white rice because of that.
Yeah.
And I actually tested a lot of them out. But luckily, I think if it's not made in China, then you're fine.
Yeah.
It's the rices. But yeah, no, these people.
Oh.
You know, corporations try to do things for cheap. You know, they're like, tuna's too expensive.
But
so
you just can't. Like, I'm all for, like, if Subway is like, oh, try our surprise tuna. You know what I'm saying? Like, announce it to me and let me make a decision. But don't feed me like chopped up cat balls mixed with rat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then be like, oh, it's tuna. You know, that's like, what? What are you doing?
Nasty.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious. I really want to know because I crave tuna and I go to Subway because it's down the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I eat it at least probably 3 times a month.
You need to get on it. Get on the lawsuit thing. Because if you ate it that much, you didn't even know what you were eating. I would Google that. Get some money out of it.
Yeah, I just don't want it to be like, I just don't want to be on a list. Like, that's where my pride comes in. And it just be like, you were eating like pig booty. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I'm getting money. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like, man, I'm on that list that got. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
well, here's the deal, though. This is going way back. This is going back to I think 2014, apparently. So we've definitely eaten.
No, I haven't. I can say I haven't. Since I was a kid, I didn't like eating nobody's tuna fish except for in my house. I don't know. Some people put too much mayo and.
What about the school tuna fish?
No, I went to Catholic school, so we had to bring our own lunch.
So she had good food. She had real food.
You know, like, I never did that.
Well,
I don't know.
let me just say this about the Catholic Church, though. You know, they're supposed to take a vow of poverty, and
Yeah,
have
they
you ever
don't.
seen-
No, they
have-
stole our money. We had to pay for our own books,
right,
pay for our own lunch. We didn't have a cafeteria. We had to eat
Right.
on our desks.
yeah.
So
But
it wasn't.
I'm just saying, behind the
Greatest.
scenes, have you ever seen what the nuns and the priests eat? They have filet mignon. They have top shelf wine.
Yeah,
Probably.
but look at the life. Let's bring a little bit of balance though. Look at the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Their beds, most of the beds are twin beds.
Yeah.
You know, they get one blanket, they get a
And-
candle and a Bible.
It's true. And
You know?
actually the priests live better than the nuns.
Oh, well, yeah.
There's a class on that still.
Mm.
Well, it's
And
not.
which is
I went to
irritating.
Catholic school. I went to
You
Catholic
too?
school all my life, so from first
too.
to 10th grade. And they always looked like they were doing just fine.
Oh, really? Right?
They looked like they were doing just fine.
My parents are struggling to pay the tuition here.
Yes,
gosh.
every year it went up. I think like now, I couldn't afford to put my children into Catholic school. I think now it's like close to like
Honestly,
almost $1,000 a month.
Yeah. For what?
LA.
Because the education is still the same.
Mhm.
And maybe
Yeah.
less so. And
Yeah.
you're just paying for a religion class, basically. So I went to St. Cecilia's in Brooklyn. I had no access to
Right,
anything.
I went to St. Cecilia in New Orleans. Whoop whoop.
No way! That's
Yes.
crazy!
Right
Oh,
good.
shit. There you go.
Getting back
Story.
to Subway,
Oh,
that
okay.
company, that
How did we
company
end
was
up here?
doomed.
He want to talk about cat balls.
Yeah.
No, forget about cat balls for a minute. I'm pretty sure Jared grew up in a Catholic school. That's how screwed up he is. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
he's
He's
Poor
still
that
doing
guy's
Jared.
a
Don't
time.
bring up Jared.
Yeah.
He's still
Don't
doing
bring
time.
up Jared. We
Oh,
might get
no.
lawsuit.
no, thank you.
I'm telling you. So anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen with that entire lawsuit.
I'm
I do
gonna
know-
pay attention to it because I swear, like I just had Tuna maybe a month ago.
Mhm.
I eat it a good bit, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really heated.
Me too.
Yeah.
If it's like lizard feet, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know
You
what
don't
it
know.
is. Like
What
it
kind of
just
animal?
seemed-
I think I've had their tuna in years.
Well,
Years,
good.
absolutely years.
Good. Let me tell you, they had
That's
to pay,
crazy.
they,
That's why
they
it's
had to
no
pay
good
off all
eat.
that. Yeah, they had to pay off all those Jared lawsuits. So now they're using tuna filler instead of tuna.
No, we need to get a new chain, a new sandwich chain.
Bring-
It
bring-
needs to retire.
Bring back Blimpie. We need to bring
Yes,
back
I
Blimpie.
loved Blimpies.
That's what
Like
I'm
they
talking
would do
about.
it like old school deli sandwich.
That's
Like
right.
you know, they would cut it
Mhm.
fresh, right? In
Yes.
Subway, they don't cut it fresh, so you don't
No.
know what kind of meat, like processed meat, they use.
Correct. Blimpie had the slicer right there.
Yeah, it's just like so good.
The other thing is that Subway had another problem, believe it or not,
Of
where
course.
they're technically not supposed to even call their bread because of the high sugar quantity. So
This is crazy.
I know.
Really?
So yeah, that's another thing about
Wow.
Subway. All
See,
their
you be
bread-
thinking you're eating healthy, and
Nah,
here you
you're
go,
not.
high sugar. This
You're
is not.
Right.
Mhm.
But Jared lost weight.
Yeah,
And
but
that's what I'm trying to say. How does that add? Like,
it all
on?
changed. It
How
all
did you-
changed. It all changed once Jared went to jail. They got to make up
oh
for it.
yeah, that's right. You're right. Facts. Yep. They had to sweeten up the
Hilarious.
bread. That's what they had to do.
I'm telling you, it's insane. Well, listen, we already know Subway. I'm done with Subway. Whether
Yeah,
there
I
is
think-
whether it's tuna fish or not, I'm not taking any more chances. I'm done.
No, my aunt got like food poisoning twice from Subway. First of all,
you
twice.
say, there it is.
What did she eat? Did she eat the tuna?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
She
She's
was
like
going
me.
to a nasty Subway
You know,
that
in
doesn't
Manhattan,
clean up. That's what that
after
is.
work. And I'm like, why did
That's
you go to? But why
crazy.
go twice though? Like after that, like I would not even touch a Subway.
Aw.
Jesus.
Either way, I'm done. You know, here's a bullshit lawsuit that was going on with Subway. And of course it was in Ireland, because we know how cheap the Irish are. They were suing Subway because the foot-long sandwich didn't technically measure up to a foot. It was like a micro inch too short, and the judge kicked it out. But that happened in Ireland, so Subway's
gosh.
plagued with issues. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had Subway in Ireland.
Oh yeah, apparently they do, because you can't make this
I
stuff
got
up.
jokes.
Seriously.
Well,
No idea.
Yeah, Subway's got issues. Well, anyway, aside from Subway, Another little juicy tidbit. Chad Wheeler. Is everybody familiar with Chad Wheeler?
No, not by name.
That's the football player, right?
That's right, the football player. Now, you ladies might get upset about this. I shouldn't say might. You ladies are going to get upset about this because I was upset about this. And believe me, the love of my life, she was very upset about this. Chad Wheeler is 6'7", 300 pounds, and beat the living daylights out of his girlfriend.
Oh, that guy. And then they didn't announce it when
Right.
they didn't want to announce it.
Yeah.
But God forbid, if it was someone of color, they'd be announcing it the second that girl went into the hospital.
Yes.
Like, oh shit, did you hear?
Yep.
Right.
Bullshit.
And keep in mind, his girlfriend was a woman of color.
Yeah.
Which is
of
even
course,
more
and they're not
amazing.
gonna say it. Yeah.
So
he beat the crap out of her.
He did. And they basically said, well, the story is that he went to her and wanted her to bow before him. She told him to go fuck himself. And then he beat the living daylights out of him.
Wow.
Bow.
Who is
She said, but
exactly.
she in his defense, which I wouldn't have done it, even if the information was correct, I just wouldn't have done it. She came back and she said that he was off his bipolar medicine.
Oh, you know what? I don't even want to hear that. That's what it is. There's a mental illness involved with this.
So she is part of the reason why he's not sitting in jail.
Well, he made his bail though. But he was bailed. He made bail, $400,000.
Right. But she helped his case by saying that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Maybe you
Is she still his girlfriend? She's still his girlfriend?
No, they're not together anymore. They're not together anymore.
They're not?
No, they're not together.
Bipolar. And that could happen. People have their ups and their downs.
Right.
But that's a tricky situation.
Yeah, but even though, and this is where I'm at with mental illness, because I have friends who are bipolar.
Right.
Yeah,
and
I
think a lot of times with people with mental illnesses, especially in the Caucasian community, there isn't a balance that they do have self-control and that you must have character in your life.
Yeah.
So, why do some bipolar people are sensitive to others and still acknowledge, hey, I'm messed up, this is whatever. But he already started off with, you need to bow before me. So obviously, this is beyond just a little mental little problem.
That is beyond that. So that's more control.
Yeah, he's controlling.
That's right.
And uses the bipolarism as an excuse to be like, oh, well, that was one of my highs. That has nothing to do with it.
So here's the deal. You know what? When the police came in, they tried to tase the guy and nothing happened. So I mean, they were tasing him and nothing literally happened.
So he on steroids. That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no. Aside from steroids, the guy's a lunatic, and as far as I'm concerned, and I don't care.
So he bipolar. He's possibly on steroids.
Lock his ass up. I'm sorry, lock his ass up.
No, he has to face the consequences.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Bipolar or not, because I know bipolar people too that would never have done that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's an excuse. And if he's on his meds, there's no excuse.
Right.
There's no excuse.
My thing is, if you know that you're supposed to take meds at a certain time of day, every day, or whatever it is, when you don't do it, then the city should hold you accountable. Because you're putting everybody at risk because you're not taking your meds. Because we can't babysit people in society. I'm not.
Exactly.
Not adults, no.
No.
Gonna press charges against him if she's already said he wasn't on his meds.
Well, he made bail.
Well, they might talk her into it because it's a big case at this point. And then it's, as a female, I don't know if she was working. I don't know if she had a career or she was just under him, because a lot of them, once they get their little football player, they don't work. You know what I'm saying? So they may talk her into creating something and going after him so that, she'll be okay as far as separating from him. Because if he was the breadwinner and doing everything, then.
Yep. I would.
Yeah. And
I'll try to get as much as I could.
Right.
Well,
hey, listen.
So if he beat the
crap out of her, I would be.
I'm taking your shit. Yeah.
I would get whatever I can.
Nobody
deserves that.
You get no argument from me on that. I mean, first of all, the fact that he did that, I mean, the man is 6'7".
Exactly.
300 pounds. And, you just can't do that. You can't put your hands on a woman, period. I mean, let's be honest. You know, I mean, if
That's true.
you can't handle it, then you got to go. But the one thing is that it's definitely going forward, because if she didn't press charges, they wouldn't have had him post bail or any of that. So she's definitely going through with it, and she should get hers. She should absolutely.
She should.
Yeah.
She should
Absolutely.
go all the way through with it.
You know, let me just say this, he's lucky, because let's be honest, a woman of color would have taken his ass out when he was sleeping. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously.
True.
Look, I know if I ever did that, I'd be dead. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, right when I'm sleeping, I'd be dead.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it. Like, all right,
yeah.
I'm beat up. I'm gonna get you later. All right.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
I'm gonna
know what?
poison your fucking drink. Yep, die slowly, motherfucker. That's how petty I am. What? Okay. I got this bruise in my eye. Okay.
I would stick around. I would stick around because I would want to switch out the medicine with some gummy bears or something. You know, like I'm that petty person. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you want to swallow my eye, right? You want to swallow my eye. Okay. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to wait months. I used to wait months for my brother. When I used to get him back, I used to wait months.
Yes. That's how you guys do.
I remember one time I decapitated his award. He had a trophy, like a chest of drawers, like full of trophies. And he kept messing with me. And I remember I was playing like checkers by myself. I used to do that as a kid. And he messed up the board. And I'm like, ooh, we lost because you messed up our game. And one day I just broke the head off of like the tallest trophy. And I put it back where it was. And he didn't notice for like 2 weeks. He was like, who broke the trophy? I said, I don't know.
That was brutal. You was wrong for that. That was brutal.
I don't know. And he was cussing me out. I said, you ain't even see me do it. What am I doing that for? What am I doing for? What is wrong with you? And then I used to always get him back. Like, it was, and he learned, like,
yeah, that's how.
Like, if I do her something, I don't know what she's gonna do.
Yeah,
so
that's how you have to keep it.
Cuss her out and probably hit her and then run away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I used to get him all the time, like making him do stuff to himself. That's the thing. I was making him do it to himself. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. We're the best. Like, every time like snapped and stuff, it's like women are very creative, and we will take our time.
He was bigger. He had muscles like. He was like in the fifth grade, and I just remember like him having muscles and being tall. And it's like,
so you gotta get him the other way.
Through 12 and 18 years of my life fighting this dude because he's the oldest. I'm the middle child.
Yeah,
you know? It's not like the next person is my little sister or whatever, but he came first, and you got to deal with him growing up as a Black male and trying to have balance within who he is in a house full of women. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh no, we gonna be tussling because I'm not living a better life. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? But he learned, like he knows.
Well, you know what? You know what, the thing about all that is, and Krystal, we had a conversation about how creative women are regarding taking a man out. Yes. The bad news for all the women out there who are thinking about taking their men/husbands out due to a domestic violence situation is that they finally put a taste inside of antifreeze, so you can't use antifreeze anymore. Just want to let everybody know that.
Oh, okay. Okay, good tip. No, I know I can't use antifreeze. All
right. No more antifreeze. So if you put it in somebody's drink, it's no good. Yeah. Sorry about that. I hate to. So Krystal, if it ever happens and you're thinking about antifreeze, take a little taste first.
I would never think to use antifreeze.
Oh, antifreeze tastes like brown sugar. It tastes like brown sugar.
And it smells like maple syrup. The number one thing on Snapped or any of those Dateline shows with a husband. All the women use antifreeze mostly. Because they put in their drinks and waters and stuff like that slowly in their food. And they're like, how did the guy die? Because you can't tell.
Nope.
They'll have like heart failure or something like that. And you can't tell what it was. Flu. Yeah, something random.
Yeah. And during this whole COVID thing, no kids blame it on COVID. He died of COVID. They won't even check. Yeah, he died of COVID. He died of COVID.
Wait. But what happened to your cousin? Did he come home okay?
I was just about to bring that up. Yes, my cousin has made it back. Monday, he made it back. He did call me. But I don't know. I don't know if I told you, but they went to rural Pennsylvania and they went to go explore caves. No idea what that's about. Caves.
Yeah, I
That's
love
kinda
that.
cool, though.
I
That's
explore
kinda
caves.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Hocking Hills, Ohio. Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Well, Dana, let me give you the rundown about my cousin. My cousin has recently started dating a widow, and no one knows as to how her husband died. They're thinking it might be COVID, but they really don't know. And she's just only been, I think it's only been like a 5-year marriage. So now he's starting to date her, and people don't know. So we're trying to think it could be like a Black Widow type of situation here. So the first date they went on was to go into Pennsylvania, rural Pennsylvania. And she's really into bird watching. And I said, listen, be careful, because bird watching is frightening. You know, you can just disappear when you bird watch. No one's
That's what I was trying to say.
So he didn't listen to me. So he decided to go, to explore caves with her. You know, I mean, who does that? I mean, seriously. I mean, Krystal, seriously, Krystal.
What?
If you were going to go on a date with a guy and he says, listen, I'm really into exploring caves. How about we go explore caves on our first date? Would you do it?
No, I'll say stranger danger.
It is.
I always say that when they ask to do something really weird and and I love unique dates, but if it's like a cave, a first date, no, I'm good. I need to know where I'm at on a first date. Like, it's mostly what area I say, right? But maybe like if you're in a relationship, yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, but this was their first date, and they're going off for a week.
Like, this motherfucker's gonna try to kill me. No. Stranger danger.
So you said stranger danger?
Yes, stranger danger. Thank you. Let me tell you no.
But here's the funny thing now. So Dana is in the cave exploring. So Dana would go on that date.
No, I didn't say that.
No, yeah.
I said that I love
it's
caves.
Cool. Yeah.
Now,
it's cool
if
to
it's
go to
like a first date, and I'm very picky, it's very hard to even like get past hello with me, right? So me going on a cave date the first time with someone I barely know, impossible. That would never happen.
All right. Well, okay. So I without getting into the entire world of my cousin, and my cousin's a little out there. He's way out there. Actually, so who knows? Maybe he's just as crazy as she is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they went out of state, right? They went out of state.
Yeah, they went out of state. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that. What women see with men, you guys are not threatened all day.
Yeah, we're stupid. We're stupid. Men are stupid.
Like, men ain't on Dateline like talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's us. It's the women that are constantly being preyed upon. And so we think differently. Our minds is constantly almost like soldiers, how soldiers think. Yeah, we're constantly alert about people movements, actions, all kinds of stuff. Right. So we know when something is getting ready to go down, or when we get that little itch. Like, it's sometimes I've been around people and I'm like, yo, this dude ain't right.
You know what? It's funny you say that. Yeah, men aren't used to being preyed upon. That is very true. But you know what? Let me just tell you the other thing. Men are ruled by their junk. I'm not even gonna lie on that.
Yeah, it's true.
And a lot of men will be like, yeah, all right, I'll go away with you. Sure, I don't know you. I'll go away with you. My cousin's gonna kill me because he's gonna think I'm mocking him. But yeah, we'll go on a date. Sure. Oh, over the weekend? Sure. Okay. Oh, sleepaway date. So already I'm thinking I'm gonna probably get some, Okay.
Yeah. It's easy targets.
Yeah, and then okay, yeah, I'll go in the cave. That's men.
Yeah, because he don't think she would like turn around with some vampire teeth and be like, I'm gonna take him back somewhere in the woods and cut his body up. Like, he's not even. But for us, that can easily happen. And now you're thinking like it's 2021, you know what I'm saying? And trafficking is way high. And now in the United States, it's so high. Like, I can't even fathom, like, it's so common now for somebody to literally be missing and they still in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sick.
Listen,
so
not to say,
even though there's like all this liberal rights and women's rights and all that, it seems like as we are rising, things are getting worse.
Let me tell you this though about that. For real, no one's gonna want to traffic my cousin. Trust me on that. I'm just putting that out there.
You don't know that. You
But
don't
listen,
know.
listen,
There's somebody for everybody.
listen,
Yeah,
he
there
didn't-
might be a rich old lady that's like, ooh, I need that kind of guy. I want his
you know what?
blood.
He is very strong. She could probably use him for manual labor. Let's be honest.
You know,
Yeah,
we don't know. Yeah. Like she said, there could be someone for everyone. It's true.
Yep.
I'm
well,
still single and I see these people together and I'm like, how did they? And I'm
Say
still
it.
single.
Say it what it is.
So-
I see big girls with
You know?
men.
I'm like, why? What?
Right.
I saw,
right.
and not for nothing, I was in my store, and I saw two people. It was the cutest thing ever. They were both in wheelchairs and they were holding hands. And I was like, that is so cute. But then in my mind, I was like, if they found each other, why the fuck am I still single? I was like, but me, I'm still single. This is some fucked up shit.
you know what? I'll tell you what,
I
Krystal.
was happy for them, but like,
Krystal, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Krystal, let me ask you a question for
What?
real. Would you
Yes.
allow all of us to pick a date for you one night to go on a date? We would all
You
have
know?
to interview this guy. We would all have to interview the guy.
Yeah, why
How
not?
are we gonna
Listen, I have
find a
nothing
date
to
for
lose.
Krystal
I have
and
nothing
she's
to
in New
lose.
York? What are we gonna do?
Well,
Send
listen,
out
we'll figure that out, but we'll make that a show. Krystal Dee's date. It'll be hysterical. This
It
is
would
the
be
date.
during the
'cause I-
COVID, right? How do you date during COVID? Krystal Dee is gonna tell us how to date during COVID.
You know what? That's
Go ahead,
a
Krystal
great
Dee.
question.
Yeah,
a
because
great
I
question.
don't. I haven't dated, and I see people together. They're like, yes,
Right.
we're together 6 months, and I'm like, during a pandemic, like how?
Because
Well, you see
the
those
only
commercials, right?
reason why, the only reason why I started dating my guy is because I knew him years before. Other than that,
Oh, that's different. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I knew him years ago. I knew him like 20 years ago.
Well, Cheetah, did he take a COVID test?
Did he take a COVID test? Yeah, he took plenty of COVID tests.
Oh, did
So
you?
his
So
job,
let me
He
ask
has
you
to
guys
take a
this.
COVID test every now and then for his job. His
Oh,
job has
Oh, that's good.
high COVID requirements. COVID requirements for his job. Like they're not really playing around. So
See,
So-
that's good.
he has to take a COVID test.
so how many of you in the beginning of the pandemic, you were still lovey-doveying and kissing in the mouth and all that?
Well, I'm
I
together.
was
I'm together for
single.
10 years, so well, I'm cool. You know.
So in
And
a
I was-
pandemic, you don't think like, you don't stop and think, and I'm just trying to figure out just people in general. This is
Yeah.
like a sociology type question. Like in a pandemic where something spreads by touch and through air and breathing or whatever, you don't stop and say, no, I don't want to kiss you.
I know that's the thing, right? Because then,
Nah,
like,
not with me. No, definitely not.
well, no, because you're in a relationship, but like me being single, like I don't trust men in general, and like even if they said they got a COVID test, a guy will tell me he's single and has a whole girlfriend, and then he wants
Right.
me to believe that he took a COVID test. I know. So that's why it's hard for me to date, because all these guys are like, oh yes, I'll come visit you and all, and I'm like, nah, not yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, let's at least have a FaceTime date. Let's even like, before I even try to risk my life for someone, I want to know that you're even worth the conversation. And a lot of guys, they just want to hook up at the end of the day, because we'll FaceTime and they're duds and they have no conversation. They don't get my humor. And I'm like, it is what it is.
Well,
I don't know.
again,
It's so hard.
Yeah, I can't answer that because, like I said, I'm together for 10 years and, the first thing I do is I jump all over her. I have to be honest.
Well, yeah, you're in a relationship. That's how it should be.
Yeah, so, yeah.
In a pandemic, though.
Absolutely, the pandemic.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, I can see what you're saying. But,
I mean, I think about like I didn't understand like Glenn's relationship in Walking Dead. Like, y'all sexing around these zombies. Like I guess that takes love. I guess I don't know.
It does.
I guess I just never been there where I'm like, oh, we're in a pandemic where we can die, but I love you.
I guess maybe life's too short, But also in The Walking Dead, I'm like, how can you have sex with someone who hasn't taken a shower in like months? Sweaty everything, gross. Like that's my thing. I'm like, ugh, no.
Right.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, speaking of dating and everything that's going on in the dating world, you know, you see all these commercials now. Match is showing the virtual date, and
I've done that.
There was a second grader. I don't know if any of you heard about this, but there's a second grader in Oklahoma who was actually kicked out of the Christian school she went to because she told another girl she has a crush on her, and they threw her out of school.
Oh, that's so sad.
Second grade, yes. Chloe Shelton is a second grader in that school. It was Rejoice Christian School
Fuck that shit.
Somewhere in Oklahoma. Well, it's Oklahoma, so you already know that. So we already know.
She's a child. That was it. She's a child, and if that's the case, if she has a crush on somebody, this is why religion and all this stuff, like I can't get into it. I can't because it stresses me out. And that's why I got the Eye of Horus to always remind me. This is from Egypt. And it's where this whole thing came from, and I keep on going about it every time I talk to a Christian because I was raised Catholic. I went to Pentecostal church, and I always questioned. I couldn't connect. And I questioned, and I love history, and I just opening up your mind.
In order to take on certain things, there is a mindlessness. There is a numbness. There is, and it doesn't have to be that way, but it is that way because there is a level of control. And if you know anything about Catholicism and that history, it's always been about control. It's always been about, hiding certain things so that others won't be empowered. And you had to go to the priest. You had to depend upon parishioners and lay people and all this other stuff. So it's very hard. Like even with African Americans, we were going at it because it's like, okay, let's just use simple logic. How are we Black and we voting for somebody that hates us? You get what I'm saying? Like, how can you be Black and you're talking about this person is saved and this person is making fun of people with mental, what you call that? Mental handicaps. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And he's doing it blatantly or there's these things against women and, but God called him. Okay, but then if God called him, surely God called Obama, but you all prayed against Obama. You prayed, you prayed curses over his life. You know what I'm saying? So we constantly clash, but I have to clash because there has to be a voice, some sort of voice that it has to force deductive reasoning. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, people are not thinking, and that's scary to me.
So right, I hear you on that. So I mean, really quickly, let's be honest. The fact that you're going to throw a second grader out of school because
she has a crush on another girl. She's a child.
It's frightening.
It's crazy.
Right.
But priests could go and touch little boys. Like, I don't understand that. But then they're sent to another school.
Where's the fire emoji?
Where?
Listen, and here's the funny thing, and the Catholic churches right now are literally going ahead and hiding behind bankruptcy and all these other things because so many people are coming out. But what's frightening is that they'll actually remove a little girl for saying something like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It could have been something. It could have been something she saw on television. We don't.
Or she just thought that girl was cute because kids don't think. Or maybe she thinks she's cute. What's the problem?
Right.
Like, she's gonna be a lesbian.
But you know what the problem is.
The problem is that she's in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is frightening like that.
I know, that's what's sad.
It's harder to have the conversation. It's harder to sit her down. And what they thought was it's easier just to get rid of her. You get what I'm saying? What they thought. So I can understand not wanting to have a conversation that becomes another level of controversy.
So,
maybe that's true.
That makes sense.
Because that's an uncomfortable conversation. Right. Because what religious teachers a lot of time is black and white. And so they can't say, oh, you like that little girl? That's nice.
Yeah, that's how I would. I'm like,
so, you know, or they can't approach the parent and be like, so what's going on in your home? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
That there is this fine line, and in this society where there's cancel culture and all of this stuff, and you could be sued for anything, I think in their minds they would just like, let's just get rid of the problem.
Yeah.
He's the problem.
Sure.
So let's just not even understanding how that would mentally affect this child, because
I know
a lot of times in Catholic school, as opposed to, and I'm just saying in my own experience, Catholic school, I was closer to the teachers and to the people there than I was in public school. There was a different connection. There was a different, you know, everything.
Yes. Yeah, I could see that. Because I went to public school in high school, so it was different.
Yeah, very different. You know? Very. It was
but she's a complaint though. Was it the parent of the girl?
Could have been.
And that's where, that's so irritating. I feel bad for this little girl because
like,
she's gonna be affected.
If the parents were conservative and they were just like,
I'm thinking that's what it was.
I've seen that even with school, how maybe a little boy might kiss a girl or something, and the little boy got sued. You know, so depending upon some of the parents, they could have been like, look, if you don't do such and such, then we're gonna sue you from allowing this and blah 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 blah.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it probably has a whole bunch of nuances behind it.
Yeah,
that breaks my heart.
Right, but you know what though? Let's be real here. I mean, where do you draw the line though? What's going to happen next? In kindergarten, you know, not even daycare. You know, like the way my child
this is why people should hire me to be in this type of stuff. Partners Mindful Mediation plug.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, they need outside help sometimes.
They do.
Because the skill set is just not there at all.
It's not.
You know?
Well, let me tell you, I know we were talking about the Catholic Church. Like, I didn't grow up Catholic. Thank God for that. Let me just say that.
Oh, no, it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
Hey, listen, we all know about what happened to those altar boys, all right? So, you know, that's a whole nother show right there.
Well, you just couldn't be an altar boy, maybe. But.
Well, listen, let me tell you, I went to a Catholic school briefly. And when I was in that school, I got thrown, like I said, I got thrown out. And thank God I did, because who the hell knows what went on in that school, too. But anyway, but the other thing I just wanted to say though is that, you know, the situation with it, you know, throwing a little girl out for that, it just makes absolutely no sense to me. And
that
if I
pisses
were
me
the
off.
parents of her, the little girl that got thrown out, I would be up in arms. I would go back into that Christian school. I would raise hell like you wouldn't believe. I mean, come on. You know, I mean, like I said, where do you draw the line? Okay, I have a crush on you. It's second grade.
I would ask for my tuition back for that whole, since I sent my kid back, because that's bullshit. They're children. If she says she likes her, what's the problem? Like I know, I just can't. This is why I wouldn't send my kids.
I'm with you.
Out of all this, the one thing that I learned is don't mess with what's your name with the red hat?
Krystal.
Krystal Dee.
Yes, because I'm crazy.
Don't mess with her, because she's gonna make you pay for it.
I will.
Listen,
I have. You don't understand. Like, I've defended my little sister from when she got bullied. Like, me and my mother went in. Like, everybody knows who the Serranos are. Like, I told off this teacher, made her face turn red, and it is what it is, right? Principal, vice principal. You don't mess with a little kid.
Let me just say one thing about Krystal. All right, all right. Krystal is an expert in every type of poison. Trust me. So watch.
Yeah. No.
Because I was just kidding around, and Krystal said, "Oh yeah, what was used? Antifreeze?" I was like, "Okay, you know what?"
She did.
Yeah, she did. Trust me. Yeah, she did. I sat down, like, you know what, Krystal?
Okay,
hilarious.
Well, maybe that's why I'm still single. I don't know.
I gotta say this. Well, you know, that's the whole machismo/machismo, right? I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, I look, I'm with you on that, because I can tell you that if that ever happened, I never had a little brother, but if that ever happened to me, or if I had a little sister, forget it, it'd be all over. Because you know, being an Italian American, you know, we lose our minds over family members.
Right. Yeah, especially when it comes to families, like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. You know what they say, the difference between Italians and the Latin community is just that we can't keep our hair, you know, no matter how
Yo, my dad's bald too. Like,
he's probably bald. He's bald by choice. I'm bald because I can't grow it.
But you know, family is not always blood. Family is not always blood. You know, you can have some really good connections with people that are really not your blood, and they're more your family than people that aren't family. So I just think you go to bat for those that you love,
that you care about, that you love, that's in your circle, for sure.
And you got some family members that you be like, she's too messy. I'm not even doing that with her.
That's true.
Not hemming me up. She is not gonna hem me up. Nope. You go right ahead. You do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So
that is true.
Well, I got to say this though. You know, I got to say this. I mean, seriously, regarding certain ties. Like the Italians are close to the Latins, but the Italians are even closer to the Africans. I mean, look, we all know what happened. Yeah. We all know what happened when Hannibal came. They all love to say that Hannibal just conquered Sicily. No, he went all the way up until he was met in Milan by the northern Italians, who actually did what? They teamed up with the Europeans of that area. That's why you got blonde hair, blue-eyed Italians, and that's why you got guys like me that don't have any blonde hair, and we hate the blonde hair, blue-eyed Italians, so we don't care. But anyway. I mean, look, that's just how it is. It all comes out of Africa, no matter how many people don't want it. It all comes out, you know. So that's the funny thing with that. And that's the whole thing with family. And Cheetah-Re is absolutely right. Family is so much more than that, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely. But anyway, really quickly, the other thing I wanted to talk about is, and Cheetah-Re, I know you're going to want to weigh in on this, and everybody's going to want to weigh in on it. We lost Cicely Tyson. And I was really upset with that, extremely upset with that. You know, I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that, because I've watched almost everything she's ever done, and I went ahead and saw that she was nominated. She got an Academy Award, I believe, back in 2018, just an honorary one, and she should have gotten many more. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Right.
And when she was up for it in 1973, by the way, I was one. When I mean, no, I'm sorry, I wasn't even born yet. I was -1. I was born in 74. She was up for Sounder. And she lost to Liza Minnelli, which I still never could understand what people saw in Liza Minnelli. I'm just putting that out there, seriously.
Yeah.
She's Italian, I get it, yeah. But I mean, come on, really?
No, there's a story behind Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, who knows?
There's a strong story behind why she's had the support.
Yeah, her father.
And it has a lot to do with what her mother has gone through.
Well, what, Judy Garland? I mean, look, that's a powerful family, but there's no way that she had any more talent than, you know, Cicely Tyson. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I get it. I was just explaining the politics of it.
That was the politics right there. We already know that it was definitely a color situation. I get it. You know, but
to be honest with you, I don't grieve so much when it's older people, because they've lived their life and they've left, like she's left this legacy. And to be honest with you, like, even though like I love people like her and my grandmother, and I love old people in general, I thank God my grandmother is not here in this COVID mess. I'm glad she's not here to continue to see just the confusion, I mean, I think my grandmother would have cried if she would have seen the scene at the Capitol. I think. You know, like that, you know, some of our people, especially someone like Miss Tyson, comes from seeing a lot. They saw a lot, you know, they've seen the world change. And I'm glad she's just at peace and she's in a better place, whether that's bouncing from cloud to cloud or whatever heaven is to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that she doesn't have to deal with, man, will America exist in the next 5 years? You know, what type of society will we have?
Right.
Because of all the decisions that's been made in the last 4 years. You get what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I think a lot of things are in the balance and we don't even know it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was one of the most amazing careers when you really think about it. What she brought to the table. I mean, if you really look back and see really everything she's done, it's unreal. It's unreal.
Right.
And I don't know if COVID got her or not. I have no idea.
I think the first time I saw her was in the movie Jane Pittman.
Yeah, was that a movie or a television show?
And was it a television series? I don't know.
It might have been a series.
I just remember being captivated by her, and I remember being very, very young when I saw it, but I just remember like, man, who is this person that took on this character? Like I was mesmerized by her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just the way she conveyed that role.
Yeah.
But some people can just embody other people and be somebody so different from their everyday person. That's amazing to me.
You know what's amazing about her is that she really went through. She's seen it all. She's been through it all. She was with Miles Davis, who brutally beat her. And
really?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Miles Davis. Look, we all know what type of person Miles Davis was. The man was really a genius when it came to music, but he was a real Miles. I know you're gone, but you were a real bastard, and he brutally beat her beyond beating her.
I didn't know that. I've never heard that.
Extremely abusive. Oh yeah. Miles Davis beat her beyond recognition sometimes.
But no matter how old she got, she never lost her swag. That's one thing.
She never did.
That's true.
She never lost her swag.
But what's amazing about her is that she's been through it all. And you know what? She kicked his ass to the curb. She's like, you know what? I'm done with you. And that was it. So he did. It was a very abusive relationship. And unfortunately, it was a one-sided abusive relationship where he dished out all the abuse. But she handled it. And this is a woman who literally has seen it all, like I said, been through it all, and she knew how to handle things. And I don't know whether COVID took her out or not, that I don't know, but it's a shame that we lost her. And I agree with you, Dane. I think she was like, you know what, I'm done. I've seen it all now with this whole entire Capitol raid.
Right.
I mean, I agree with you on that. What's amazing about her, I mean, she during the whole time with Louis Farrakhan, because, she was his cousin. They were cousins.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You know all the tea. Why you know so much tea about Cicely Tyson?
He knows the tea. Okay. He knows all the tea. He does the research. You're not the only one that do research, Krystal. He doing the research. Foolish Pete, foolish.
And even though at the time with all the, when it was really getting heated with Farrakhan and everything that was being done, I mean, Cicely Tyson still at this point was able to, I don't want to say separate herself because she never technically did, but she was still able to go ahead and do what she did, which in my opinion, I thought was amazing. She was able to always move ahead. And that's what was so amazing about her. And yeah, she was cousins with Louis Farrakhan. That's a fact. Amazing about Cicely Tyson. They tried to blacklist her on everything and they couldn't. Because everybody wanted her either way.
No, but she was a great talent, and I am just appreciative that I had the opportunity to even watch her. You know what I'm saying? To watch her art, to see her develop, because she was always a class act. She was very classy.
Mm-hmm.
And as a person of color, we need to see more of those class acts in the industry. Right. Because some of us are out there just doing dumb shit, bullshit movies.
Just out here bad.
Yes. And our children are the future leaders of tomorrow. And it's like, are they looking up to this? This is ridiculous.
That's a really interesting thought, Cheetah-Re. You know what? Really quickly, let me ask everybody, who right now has Cicely Tyson's je ne sais quoi when it comes to handling themselves in the acting community? In your opinion, of course.
I think Angela Bassett is good. Angela Bassett is very class act. Yeah.
Angela Bassett, okay. Dana, what was that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you, Dana.
Lynn Whitfield, I think, has that.
Right.
Yeah, she's a good one too.
Sure.
Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Chip Field, she's a class act too. Kim Field's mom.
Yeah.
She did a lot of directing and things. She's a class act. They're older, but as far as the young people out there still aren't a few. I did like the twins that did the sister. I thought that they were very professional being young actresses.
Right. Are they doing anything now?
Tia.
They
or Tamara is doing The Real, or did do The Real. It was like a daytime talk show. Yeah. but they're always positive and like classy and like.
They were always a class act, you know. And you know who else is very classy? Even though she was raised in the industry, is Tracy Ross. She's very classy.
Yep.
Who?
Tracy Ross, Diana Ross's daughter.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yes. Oh, she did
yeah.
Girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's very classy. I enjoy watching the things that she does. So there's still quite a few.
Yeah, I think it depends, but like the younger generation, I don't know. It's very like look at me.
It's
look at
hit and
me.
miss though.
It's a hit and miss. You know,
because some of them could have class, but then there is the element of wanting to promote ghettoism and promote mess. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to be seen. And I think the little girl who played with Regina King, not Regina King, what's the other Regina? Regina Hall? What's her name? She was on Blackish, the little dark-skinned girl.
Yes,
I think she's classy, and I think she's way ahead of her time, you know?
But the little one who was the youngest producer, she was on Blackish too. She was the young daughter. She's the youngest, her, and then the one who, the older sister too, that she did the, both of them on Blackish. They are, you know, extremely well, like educated, well-rounded, somebody that you would want your daughter to look up to. Right. Because like social media has made some of these young kids, you know, the Latin community, the Black community, like it's just like, wait, what? too grown, and I can't, like, you know. My little sister and I'd be like, nah, what are you doing? Like, no.
Right.
So it's just this time it's hard to find someone to look up to.
Right.
Very true. Very true. I agree there. And that's what that's what I have to say. I think this generation is missing out on role models. There's really no role models. That's what's frightening. And a lot of people like to say, well, that's because a lot of kids are coming from broken homes. No, that's not the reason. That's
not the reason.
Not at all. Not at all. And what
society or like the you know, the people with money want us. They want us to look low class. You know what I'm saying? They want us to continue to be ghetto or, you know.
That's what programming is.
Yep, exactly.
It's TV program. So it's a program and that's what it's designed to do.
Yep. Right. And I think it's up to us, like my generation who's having children, to stop that. To actually educate our own kids, you know, and say that no, you can't, and yes, no, whatever. And some people are not meant to be parents, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just like,
you know, it's funny you say that, because whenever I run into a real whack job, I always say, geez, I wonder what their parents must have been like. I always say that. What was that guy's parents like? Or what was her parents like? God, this is what they grew up like. You know, and I agree with you on that. I absolutely agree with you on that. And it's really, I mean, this generation right now, I don't even know where to begin with what's going on. I don't know. There needs to be some sort of role model out there for real.
Yeah.
Cheetah-Re, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
Yes, Dana, it was a pleasure doing the podcast with you. I enjoyed you so well. You have to come back. And we're gonna do this sign off for everybody to stay safe. Everybody bump up their COVID restrictions because it's rough out here, and I think a lot of people are getting relaxed, and it's still hitting close home to me. You know, I've lost a few people with COVID. I have people in my family that have COVID. My nephew has COVID right now. A good friend of mine has COVID. They just admitted him in the hospital because his oxygen levels were low. So we cannot get caught slipping. We have to do the best that we can while we're out here. And these young kids really don't get it. I had to fuss at my daughter because she goes to the gym and she works out, and she tells me, this is what she tells me. Oh, you don't get COVID at the gym. I wanted to punch the fucking shit out.
That's the main hotbed right there.
What dumb shit are you talking? I said, you know what? I'm gonna pretend like I did not hear that stupid, dumb, ignorant shit that just came out of your mouth.
Right.
You don't want to wear a mask when you are working out, training people. Then goddamn it, you're gonna wear a mask when you walk in this motherfucking house right here. That's what you are gonna do. She acted like she had an attitude. Like, really? Really? So, you know, this is my daughter. This is somebody that I have raised that should know better than to tell me some dumb, stupid shit like that. You know, so I'm just like, we just have to wear masks when you come home. That's all. Just wear masks in all of the common areas. The only time you take the mask off is when you go upstairs in your room. So she came home and went upstairs in the room, and I said, okay, great, awesome. You ain't hurt me.
Right.
You know, so just in signing off, everybody be safe and just, you know, continue to enjoy moments with loved ones and friends because we don't know when tomorrow, you know, we don't know when our last day is. So this is where we are right now, being masked up in stores and not being able to have social gatherings with more than 10 people. But hey, it's the life for right now. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. It's learn to slow up and enjoy life and enjoy those that you love. And that's my sign-off.
All right, Cheetah. And by the way, Cheetah, really seriously, I would say the same thing to your daughter. However, your daughter can bench press a Buick, so I don't want to mess with her. I know she's your daughter, and you know what? You brought her in, you'll take her out, but I think she'll probably take me out first. I gotta be honest with you.
Right. I mean, she probably will try to do that with me, but we're gonna fight.
Oh, it's gonna be on. Yeah, I got you.
She's working out, and I'm not, and she's way stronger than me. But you know,
for all of,
I think you got somebody fine behind you. I said, he looked a little fine. I was just trying to see who he was. The man behind you, he got on like a black and white shirt.
A black and white shirt? Right there?
Yeah.
That one?
Okay, he kind of like a football player looking.
Wait a minute. I think that's Chad Wheeler. That looked like Chad Wheeler. Look out, Cheetah.
No. I wish I would have seen it. I mean, like what? What's going on? What did I miss?
I just noticed them. I noticed necks first. When a man got a thick neck, I noticed that.
How do I look here? Huh?
Oh,
right?
You're spoken for. Come on, you're spoken for.
Is that what you look at? You look at the neck first? All right, I got you.
I look at necks and I look at jawlines.
Oh.
A wide jawline is just so like that piece right here.
Yeah, that little
like that muscle in the jaw area. Yeah. Oh, it drives me crazy.
Oh. All right, Krystal Dee, give us the sign off on your side.
All right, peace and love, guys. Dana, come back. Come back. You gotta
I sure
do
will.
Show.
I sure will.
Yes.
And I also want to thank Dana. Dana, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Absolutely great.
I enjoyed myself.
But Dana, thank you for coming on.
No problem. No problem.
I just want everybody out there to be vigilant, be careful, be safe, wear your mask, and we'll see everybody next week.